I this is my first attempt of a reaction video. I apologize if it's bad. My name is Fia, and I'm a big fan of Pedro Pascal, and I want to know what this is about. So yeah, let's watch together. Maybe at some point I will do those live. For now, they're going to be pre-recorded because I am way too nervous to do a reaction live. So yeah, I hope you enjoy my shittiest reaction.
Let's see your nails first.
Oh, yes, of course.
They're very
like?
nice. Yeah, they're very beautiful. You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
I am your cool slutty daddy. Yes, I am. Yes, I'm a heartthrob.
I don't know why this guy makes me so uncomfortable.
It doesn't make me uncomfortable. It's just, you know, silly.
Hi, my name is Sydney. Welcome
Hi,
back
Sydney.
to hell. And as per usual, before we launch in,
I watched a bunch of her videos and I usually enjoy them. So I am really excited to see what she has to say about Pedro Pascal.
Today's video is sponsored by Fume. So usually when I decide to cover a person or a celebrity, I will often go and watch hours and hours and hours of their interviews or footage or whatever. And after doing that, usually one of two things happen. I realize the person is actually totally fine. Like
I love the mug.
I don't trash them to the rest of you. Or I end up hating them more than I originally did. And the latter is what has happened here with relation to Pedro Pascal, which I'm sure surprises none of you. It seems like absolutely every time I turn around, this guy is all over my feed. Whether it's him taking digs at author J.K. Rowling, recently calling her a bully and a heinous loser, standing up for trans rights while routinely posting passive-aggressive pictures on Instagram and calling people out.
A world without trans people has never existed and never will. That's bullshit.
Who disagree with him, equating Trump supporters to Nazis. Yes, that one is very original. Or recently, these Vanity Fair photos that are all over the place, which I guess are meant to be sexy, but maybe I'm not the target audience because that's not my read here. Oh, and also this Vanity Fair video because... Okay, I honestly have no idea who this is for. Anyway, if he isn't being
not you apparently
on the rest of us for his wonderful leftist opinions, then he's simply appearing in every other film or television show. I'm starting to understand why they call it Pedro Pascal fatigue, because I am tired. The Last
oh my
of
god,
Us, which was so improperly cast. Fantastic.
I thought the first season was okay.
Also improperly casts. The new Materialist movie, which brings about its own wave of interviews where he says even more leftist-based things and does even more performative behavior that then gets written about by media outlets. And around and around in circles we go. Like back in May, for example, when he made comments at the Cannes Film Festival about illegal immigration.
I want people to be safe and to be protected, and I want very much to live on the right side of.
I hate the way that he does that little move with his fucking mouth. I don't know, it's kind of cringe that an old man does that. Maybe just me, but that was kind of cringe.
I'm an immigrant. My parents are refugees from Chile. I myself was a refugee. We fled a dictatorship, and I was privileged enough to grow up in the U.S. And after asylum in Denmark, and if it weren't for that, I don't know what would have happened to us. And so
I think another person did a similar. I think it was Arnold Schwarzenegger. Arnold, the Terminator, and he was like, "Yeah, you should immigrate legally," and some kind of bullshit like that. I don't remember.
I stand by those protections. Always.
To be honest with you all, this video really encapsulates why I don't like Pedro Pascal. This is a person who continually tells a borderline fake asylum story and positions himself as a meek, mild-mannered guy who's just expressing an opinion. He's just here to share with us why he wants to be on the right side of history. He just wants to help illegal immigrants and protest for trans rights. But to me, and it seems a lot of other people at this point, all of this feels very manufactured and contrived.
I mean, he's an actor, so
he's working overtime to ensure that he is interpreted and perceived in a very specific way. He's probably a great fan of having chairs in the corner. If you don't get that reference,
I
it's
don't.
probably for the best. Since
I
about
wanna know!
2020, Pedro Pascal has been forced on the general population by Hollywood and the entertainment space in general. And no matter where we go and what we do, we seemingly can't escape him. And I'm sure to begin with,
I actually
people
haven't
think
seen that
just
much of him on the social media, but I'm also not very, like, actively watching stuff, so
to him or thought that he was an A-okay actor. Like, for example, I really liked him in Game of Thrones. I genuinely was quite sad when his character got his face mushed in. Just a little bit of But now his rapid rise from supporting actor to global star feels very forced. With Hollywood,
I think he's like first of all, he's very attractive, so maybe that's why he's like everywhere. But also, like, he did like good job playing the Mandalorian. He did a good job playing in The Last of Us. I don't think that his fame comes from how is it called? From being like a. I don't think like what's his name? Baby No Money is like very signal virtual. I cannot speak. Virtue signaling. But he does it as well. I'm not gonna lie. But like, I feel like his fame comes more from his talent as an actor. But maybe I'm wrong.
and media outlets like Vanity Fair and MSNBC
Because he seems like he's actually like a nice person. I don't think he's like. Maybe he's a bit like using the left media to be more liked.
Pushing him as a cultural icon. And I think it's gotten to the point where people are largely getting very irritated. Or at least I know that I am, and I like to pretend that everybody feels how I do all the time. To be fair though, I actually do see people saying on social media all the time, okay, enough is enough now. We're tired of this man who cannot grow any facial hair. Stop. You know, there's actually something else I'd like you to stop. Your bad habit, which is why today's video is sponsored by Fume. Vape rhymes with nothing. And like a vape, maintaining this bad habit does absolutely nothing good for you. But stopping can be very hard. It's true. The cravings, the irritation.
Yes, I stopped smoking and the cravings are very bad.
Hurt your lungs with
I gained so much weight from stopping to smoke cigarettes.
That solution is Fume. Fume is this nifty award-winning device designed to stop any hand-to-mouth habit. It uses no heating components, no vapor, and no batteries. Instead, all you have to do is pop your preferred flavored core into your device and breathe. And Fume has a huge range of these cores, with options like crisp mint or
I want it as like a
sparkling grape.
fun thing to suck on.
How pink and cute these are. And guess what? If you're a tropical kind of person, Fume just released their newest flavor, mango, just in time for summer. And let me tell you, this smells so good.
Why is it black?
Also has such a good range of
That's a weird question.
Add-ons
oh well.
Like their Solano Fume, this magnetic base to hold your device, and their newly dropped Fume toppers. And it's pretty straightforward. These fit over your mouthpiece for an elevated experience. So if you too want to stop your bad habit in style, then click the link in the description, scan the QR code on screen, or go to
If I wasn't poor, I would probably order some.
Sydney. And of course, don't forget to use code Sydney to get your free Fume topper when you order a journey pack. Now,
I like her, she's weird.
Pedro Pascal is continually positioned as a sweet, sensitive, cuddly guy.
Yeah.
He paints himself as meek and mild-mannered and goofy.
Yeah.
In videos and interviews, he always seems to be making fun of himself or goofing off.
Yeah.
But there's something about it that doesn't ring super true. Like, he's always in character, and this is one of them. But I think that there are two primary things that fit together that annoy me so much about him and his overall coverage. Because
Okay.
Pedro Pascal seemingly became a big deal overnight, the media and I
He
guess the
did?
entertainment space
He
in
did?
general has worked incredibly hard to position him and sell him as this new age symbol of masculinity, for one. And for two, the
He is
African
not a symbol for masculinity.
and is because he is sensitive and emotional and he's meek and mild mannered, and I feel like I am being forced to find him attractive and appealing. No! Back in 2020,
He's attractive and appealing because he looks hot. It has nothing to do with his fucking behavior.
he was labeled one of people's sexiest men alive. Around this time, he was also labeled
Arguably.
as one of IMDb's biggest stars. And then the media started working overtime to sell him as the ultimate progressive icon. Men's Health in 2023 called him a symbol of modern masculinity for rejecting Latinx machismo and supporting his trans
Example. What the fuck is Latinx?
identified sibling. Yes, he has a trans identified sibling. Are you surprised? No, not really. MSNBC in May 2025 praised his ethic of care for bashing Trump's deportation policies and cuddling actor Oscar Isaac in an Instagram post. Vanity Fair
Interesting.
in 2025 quoted a director called Spike. I'm not even gonna try with this.
Claims. Hollywood director claims Pedro Pascal is what we want in masculinity. How did we get here?
Listening,
Oh,
guys, I'm okay. Nope, we're not doing that. Who said that Pascal is what we want in masculinity?
interesting.
And honestly, reading through all of these articles, it's like they all got the same. All these outlets got the same PR memo to make Pedro Pascal the woke messiah. And these are just a handful of articles. There were so many when I was writing this video.
I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing that they're trying to make someone as a quote unquote woke messiah, because it doesn't seem like he's doing. I mean, he did like shit talk J.K. Rowling's, but she's an adult woman. She can like handle that. But like, I don't think he harms anyone by doing that. He's just trying to be positive and, you know, earn money.
That I came across that all said the same thing, that Pedro Pascal is the picture of modern masculinity, that he's our internet daddy, that he's this sweet, meek, unassuming guy that we all love. Because he gets anxious and holds actress Vanessa Kirby's hand at conferences. Because he's prepared to stand up for his trans sibling and fight J.K. Rowling with his pointy words. Because he's softly spoken and anxiously gripping himself when he speaks about illegal immigration. Like, give me a break.
So I know why it bothers me whenever he does that thing with his mouth, because it feels like he's acting and not being like honest when he was talking there. Because normal people don't do that. Normal people don't speak like that.
He speaks emotionally during interviews and tells us how fragile and relatable he is.
Bella and I are like linked souls, and this was the ultimate manifestation of that as scene partners on this porch. And so we took such good care of each other and just kind of like
Did he change his voice?
lived in the pain of it the entire day.
I think she
I
did.
remember just being
That's not his voice.
absolutely like emptied out by the end of that day.
Because you're trying to make me nervous, and I'm a vulnerable person, and it works.
I don't know, maybe this is a theater kid thing, but my
Maybe.
God, I am begging you to use human words, not thespian speak. This to me almost feels like the equivalent of that Wicked interview that happened where one of those actresses, whose name escapes me right now, said that she was holding space for something and then everybody on the internet mocked her. That is what this is to me. He's holding space.
This week, people are taking the lyrics of Defying
Oh.
Gravity and really holding space with that and feeling power in that.
I didn't know that that was happening.
I've seen it, yeah.
That's
That is adorable.
really powerful.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I wanted.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was happening.
All of it feels, once again, so
Fake.
contrived. And I think why
I get that.
specifically am very bothered by this, I mean, there's a bunch of reasons, but one of them is because it's almost like we're being force-fed this idea that the Pedro Pascals of the world, and Pedro Pascal specifically, is the ideal man. That this feminized version of masculinity is the correct one.
I don't
and
like
age-old
it.
masculinity is wrong. I want my men to be able to do a handful of very important things. Chop wood. What else do I want them to be able to do? Is that it? Till the soil, work in the mines, bring coal back to the house to start fires. I don't think Pedro Pascal can do any one of those things.
I think he
He's
could if he
so
wanted
shit,
to.
Like I'm going mad. Pedro Pascal is
He should be the guy who chops wood on TikTok, the hot one.
as a strong man.
That should
He's
be-
fragile. He's emotional. He grits
That is
his teeth
masculinity.
when he speaks and stutters between words. The media goes on and on and on about how he cries easily and wears his heart on his sleeve. And here's the thing for me personally, over the years, my opinions about men and women and masculinity and femininity have definitely grown and changed. And I actually think
Yeah.
as a rule for people, there's nothing wrong with understanding your emotions and being able to articulate them. I actually think society would be a lot better off if people were better at this.
Yeah, I
But
agree.
that isn't what Pedro Pascal does, and that isn't what he is. Pascal has taken aim at women fighting for our own spaces. This isn't a masculine thing to do, I'm sorry. He mocks and abuses anyone who thinks differently than him, comparing
That's
those on
shitty.
the right to Nazis. Although, you know,
That's
no
also
doubt
shitty.
true. And it is socially acceptable for him because he has the right opinions, the Hollywood accepted opinions. So all of this is passed off as charming and charismatic. He is able to do his activism and keep his job. Meanwhile, people like Gina Carano are fired and publicly lambasted for doing
What the fuck
so
is Gina
much
Carano?
less. And as I'm saying it, I actually think this is a really
Was it?
important
Wait, was it? Gina. Oh, Gina Carano. Yeah, she said some opinions and they got her fired, which is kind of a bullshit.
This is a person who is so
I don't think she said something
about
controversial either.
humanity and his compassion. He is so vocally about justice and social justice, and yet he is consistently throwing women under the bus. He is consistently taking stabs at women who are fighting for other women, and he sat by and basically said absolutely nothing while Gina Carano was being dragged through the mud. So Pedro
Oh,
Pascal
wait,
is
except for J.K. Rowling, who else was he talking about?
symbol of new masculinity. He's simply what Hollywood and the entertainment industry have decided will replace the traditional version. And in my opinion, and some of you are going to think I'm so mean and being quite unkind here, but maybe I am. Who's to
Maybe.
say?
Maybe.
In my opinion, it's this insipid, submissive, curated picture of male fragility. And I hate using terminology like that. It sounds very leftisty and flim-flammy to me, but that's kind of what it is. Like, I am sorry, but it is a little ironic and maybe a little bit laughable that we have this guy who's supposed to be this icon of masculinity, and yet he needs emotional support women to follow him around lest he have some anxiety.
I don't think that a specific man should be an image of masculinity. That's kind of stupid. Just let men be people.
I even saw tweets about his recent
Like, people complain that women have so much high standards, but men also have, like, men need to be very, like, specific to even be liked. I don't know, it's kind of stupid.
their photo shoot where people made the observation that his PR team is desperate to sell him as a Burt Reynolds type figure for the modern world, and I actually think that observation totally checks out. So I'll cap this off by saying the obsession with him doesn't actually seem to be around the fact that he's actually a masculine figure. It's that he's a guy in Hollywood who happens to have the right positions and opinions that Hollywood finds palatable that it can force on the rest of us.
Yeah.
Then there is his actual behavior, and I think this is where his performative vulnerability and meekness really shines through. If you guys care to look at all, if you go on the internet, there are a ton of fan edits of Pedro Pascal that basically present him with almost this gay affect, which I think is supposed to be disarming for women, but really, I perceive this as kind of weird. and a little creepy. For example,
Okay.
here are a bunch of videos
I was hoping for an
of
example.
complimenting women's nails.
See what you got, what you got.
What do you think?
Oh, they're gorgeous and glowing.
You know
Ding,
that?
ding, ding, because
I
I'm
researched.
obsessed with nails.
Yeah.
Latter 30s, and I am dedicating. Your nails are awesome. So are yours.
Let's see your nails first.
Yes, of course.
They're very
like?
nice. Yeah, they're very beautiful. You're welcome.
I appreciate it.
Can I just say one thing? That your nails, they bring out the color in your eyes. I'm not trying to.
Oh my
It's so-
god.
I've been kind of obsessing with everybody's, but you did that on purpose.
I
didn't
did
you?
that on purpose.
It
How
really
did I
works.
know?
It's very, very
It's
good.
because I bought this weird, really amazing middle ring, and
It's
I
a
needed to
great-
find something to
It's
go
a
with.
great color.
That's awesome. Hey, thanks.
Thank you so much.
Oh.
And as a fan of your nails, I would like you to show them to me, please.
Oh my
come on,
god.
please.
As you guys know,
Oh my
I'm
god!
not a nail girly. My tech is actually a man, so I come into contact all the time with people who compliment my nails, who say that they're really nice, and both men and women do this, but let me tell you now. Men do not act like this when they see my nails. It's kind of funny because when I was showing my loved ones these clips of Pedro Pascal, because I like to know if my perceptions of things are
That last one was kinda
with
creepy.
what other people are thinking, or if I'm completely off the planet. And each of them said, "Is this man gay?" And I said, no, he's not. And this isn't because straight men can't and don't appreciate nails. They can and they do. It's because it just comes off as disingenuous behavior. Every person I showed this to also viewed this as disingenuous behavior, and maybe it is legitimate. Maybe he actually likes nails, but what is it? What mechanisms are at play here that make people read this as odd?
I mean, some guys like trains, some guys like nails, you know?
What are remarkable that this is a 50-year-old man who routinely behaves like a teenage girl. The same goes for the way
That's
that he interacts with
weird.
female stars. Again, fans have made cuts where he is nicely touching female actresses, kissing their hands or touching
That is
their
weird.
arm, and I feel like
That is
people need
weird.
to pick a lane with this one. If this were any other man, touching women like this
Yeah.
would excite lots of women online. They would
Yeah.
find it predatory and creepy.
It is
But
creepy.
because of Pedro Pascal's soft, effeminate behavior, this is suddenly fine. He's like gay best friend adjacent. And the thing to me
He's not gay,
is
though.
that while the majority of these women in these videos are single, some of the ones that he's done this to are not. And I think that adds an extra level of inappropriateness. Just to be clear, I think there is certainly a way for men to be kind and loving and supportive of the women around them, but I don't think that necessarily involves being all over them in a public or even private setting.
I agree.
And all of this extends to his pretend humility too. Pascal presents himself as a person who is shocked by his success. He said as much actually in his new
That's
Vanity Fair
stupid.
interview. But then you see him doing things to get deliberate sound bites or lean into internet lore. You actually see him doing this a lot with the daddy thing, repeating it himself in interviews.
That's
Silver
That's-
daddy emoji.
I'm a bigger daddy than.
that is a bit weird, and that kinda made me cringe
him. I'm older
hard.
than him. Although he's a real daddy, he's got kids and I don't. But daddy is a state of mind. You know what I'm saying?
That's
I'm a
weird.
daddy.
During his Vanity Fair lie detector video, he admitted that he looks himself up on social media and thinks he's a heartthrob, which is like, what?
You're also very active with fans on Twitter. Do you search for your name?
Yes!
You know, it is kind of weird.
I find the laughing so not real that it makes me uncomfortable. I feel
Yeah, and
For me,
I feel her.
it's been one big adventure in discomfort. He posts pictures with captions acknowledging that he's everywhere because he knows what is happening and he loves it. Nothing about this guy is genuinely authentic and humble, at least in my opinion. Lastly, and
I don't think he's humble either.
where this fits, so I'm just gonna put it here. Let's talk about Pedro Pascal and his asylum story. Pascal routinely paints his family as fleeing Chile because their lives were in danger,
Mhm.
when I think the truth of the matter is far less dramatic. In
Okay.
his 2023 SNL monologue, Pascal got very teary talking about his family escaping the country when he was 9 months old. He says his dad, Jose, was treated as a resistance member, so they had to climb into the Venezuelan embassy, get asylum in Denmark, and then move to the US as refugees. But there is lots of evidence that suggests that his family were very well connected and certainly not impoverished. His dad was a fertility doctor with a very shady history. He has been fined $1.2 million for tax evasion and fraud.
Holy shit.
He allegedly cooked the books and then fled to the US, dodging charges but getting barred from practicing medicine in Chile. He's also linked to some other crazy stuff like stealing embryos and implanting them in women without their consent and just a whole
I mean, that's his dad.
If you are interested in this, I absolutely recommend looking into it because you will find
Maybe.
some very weird stories.
Maybe.
The point is, I feel
Next
like
video.
Pedro Pascal has whitewashed his own family history in order to better sell this victim narrative. Because let's be real, nobody wants to hear about some family patriarch who committed tax fraud and then stole a bunch of babies. It's
That's true.
nowhere near as appealing as a sad refugee story.
Right.
So you guys get the picture. I had a bunch of clips that I wanted to include, but I have a feeling that they would get me copyright claims, so I have left them out of this video, unfortunately, but hopefully what I have included has given you a little bit of a picture of what I'm talking about here. I guess the bottom line is that I am probably not Pedro Pascal target audience, which is
Probably
odd, given
not.
that I am female and probably around the correct age. So in saying that, it's probably understandable that I don't like this bizarre attempt to reinvent masculinity around him. I don't like the fact that he is everywhere. I don't like the fact he is being forced upon my consciousness. I don't like all of these contrived, manufactured write-ups about him. I don't like any of it. And I will say, it is obviously completely cool if you totally disagree with me here and you like him and you think that he's handsome and attractive and you like the way that he presents himself and the things he does. You are absolutely entitled to those opinions and I won't hold them against you. It's okay if you're a fan of him. I am just not.
I mean,
And a lot of
now that
people
she
are not,
pointed
and
out all the
honestly,
things,
I'm just
they are
sick and
kind of
tired of seeing
creepy.
him everywhere. It's also totally okay to not fit this perfect male masculine archetype. It definitely takes all sorts, and it's perfectly acceptable to not fit into any one specific box. But with that being said, I am just not okay with masculinity being presented through the Pedro Pascal lens because, to be honest with you, I think on a long enough timeline, something about this guy is going to come out, and all of this
Probably.
faux interest in him is going to seem very silly in the end. So
In the end, something very small is going to be like, I don't know, he cheated on her, on his ex-girlfriend or something, and people will go absolutely crazy about how he's a trash person or something like that. Like, he can do the smallest thing ever and people will completely flip on him because right now he has such a high standard that the moment he does slip up, it will just fucking kill his career.
Ultimately, I am very much looking forward to this bizarre trend around this man coming to an end, and I hope that that end comes very soon, because like many of you, I am fatigued. Now on that note, and before I open the floor to all of you, this is just a reminder, check out Fume using the link in the description. I love Fume, they have been a major supporter of this channel, so if you are looking to replace a bad habit that you might have, Fume is a very, very great alternative. Now I open the floor to all of you. What do you all think? Am I in the wrong? Is this guy likable? Do you guys like him and enjoy him?
I
Do
do.
you think that I am correct and he is annoying and it's very frustrating seeing him absolutely everywhere being forced on all of us? What do you think of this reinterpretation of masculinity through the Pedro Pascal lens? Do you agree?
I do like him, and I think he can be a bit charming. But I do understand where she comes from, because like some of the stuff that he does, I'm probably very loud. Some stuff that he does are like very, very creepy. Like the way that he talked about the immigration thing, and like his the way that he like talked looked like he was acting, and the way that he was begging that woman to show her nails was also kind of creepy. But then again, maybe he's being genuine, maybe he's just, I don't know, a very awkward person. And I don't want to believe that he's like bad, but it does rub me the wrong way that he doesn't understand like what J.K. Rowling is talking about when she's talking about trans people. And I might get some hate for thinking that sometimes J.K. Rowling did say some smart things about the trans community. Okay, let's finish the video.
Agree with it? Do you disagree with it? Do you think that he is insipid and submissive and do you like the way that he behaves? Do you find it
I
attractive
don't.
and appealing, and you're glad that men are being much more sensitive in a more public way? What do you
It's okay to be sensitive as a man, and like you should be like it should be, I guess, and encouraged at some degree, but you should also not forget that like being sensitive is not supposed to be all you are, if that makes sense. Like you can have other hobbies too.
think of the way that he interacts with women? Does it give you the ick?
It does give me the ick.
Rub you the wrong way, make you feel uncomfortable, or do you think, hey, that's actually really nice? Once again, I wish
My
more
microphone
of
is
you
way
did
too
that.
loud.
And what do you generally make
Okay.
of this issue overall? As always, if you have made it this far in the video, congratulations. I always like having you along for the
Thank you.
ride. If you are new here and you're not subscribed already, and you
Okay, bye. Anyways, thank you for watching. This is my first reaction video. I'm sorry if it sucks. I'm still gonna upload it though. But yeah, I will release probably one more this week. And I hope I will do this weekly now. So I will see you next video. Goodbye.